Launch Site 1, West Texas, seeing Earth from space apparently made a big impact on the planet's richest resident. Billionaire Jeff Bezos flew to suborbital space with 3 other people Tuesday, July 20th, on the first crewed mission ever launched by his spaceflight company, Blue Origin. He said he greatly enjoyed the rocket ride and microgravity flips but was most struck, as astronauts tend to be, by the thought-provoking view. The most profound piece of it, for me, was looking out at the Earth, and looking at the Earth's atmosphere, he said during a post-flight news conference Tuesday. That life-giving shell of air seems sizable from the ground. But when you get up above it, what you see is it's actually incredibly thin. It's this tiny little fragile thing, and as we move about the planet, we're damaging it, Bezos said, referring to greenhouse gas pollution. It's one thing to recognize that intellectually. It's another thing to actually see with your own eyes how fragile it really is. Bezos has taken some steps to help protect that fragile shell and the rest of our beleaguered planet. Last year, for example, he announced the creation of the Bezos Earth Fund, which is dedicated to fighting climate change and boosting sustainability, and pledged $10 billion to get it up and running. And he now aims to start devoting more of his time to that project. I'm going to split my time between Blue Origin and the Bezos Earth Fund, Bezos said during today's news conference. And there's going to be a third thing, and maybe a fourth thing, but I don't know what those are yet. I'm not very good at doing only one thing. And Blue Origin's long-term goals have a strong environmental component, Bezos has stressed. Over the long haul, the company wants to help establish a bustling off-Earth economy, with millions of people living and working in space. Indeed, Blue Origin intends to help move most resource extraction and heavy industry off the planet, so that we don't further strip the planet and foul its soil. Air and waters, turning such bold dreams into reality starts with relatively small steps, Bezos said, like today's first ever crewed launch of New Shepard, the company's suborbital space tourism vehicle. We're going to build a road to space so that our kids and their kids can build the future. And we need to do that. We need to do that to solve the problems here on Earth. It's not about escaping, Bezos said. This is the only good planet in the solar system, he said. We've sent robotic probes to all of them. This is the only good one, I promise you. So we have to take care of it. Even more. And that's what this is about. The billionaire was joined by Wally Funk. The 82-year-old aviation pioneer, and now the oldest person ever to fly in space, launched on a suborbital flight Tuesday, July 20th, aboard New Shepard, a private rocket built by Blue Origin and financed by billionaire Jeff Bezos, who was also on the flight. The trip, Funk said, was incredible. Funk, who attempted unsuccessfully to join NASA's astronaut corps 4 times and was part of the Mercury 13 group of female aviators who took astronaut tests, finally flew on New Shepard's debut crewed spaceflight for free at the invitation of billionaire founder Jeff Bezos. Also joining her was Bezos venture capitalist brother Mark, and paying passenger and physics student Oliver Damon. I've been waiting a long time to finally get up there, Funk said during a live-streamed post-flight briefing Tuesday from Blue Origin's launch site 1 near Van Horn, Texas. I've done a lot of astronaut training through the world, Russia, America, she continued. I could always beat the guys on what they were doing, because I was always stronger. I've always done everything on my own. Bezos has said repeatedly in interviews that Funk always outshone the 3 men on her crewmates, who are between ages 18 and 57. Funk's enthusiasm was apparent, as she bounded first up the stairs at the launch tower, waving at the camera. Upon emerging from the capsule after landing, the octogenarian, who has 19,600 pilot hours under her belt, extended both arms wide, grinning. Waiting at the landing site was a flight student of Funk's, Mary, whose last name was not disclosed. Mary was one of at least 3,000 people that the octogenarian taught over the decades, Funk said. I don't know if they're going to get to see this or not, Funk said of her former students, but I felt so charged. I was just a normal person going up into space. Funk and the rest of her crewmates were rookie astronauts, although Funk's thousands of hours of instructional and pilot experience would likely have seen her face some in-flight anomalies that could have helped in case of emergency. While the New Shepard flight was nominal, it appears Funk's decades of time in the cockpit made an impression on at least one of her crewmates. Wally was never nervous, Jeff Bezos said, but the former Amazon CEO joked the Funk became impatient when a 6-minute launch hold happened on the pad for so far undisclosed reasons. Wally was like, "Are we going to go, or not? What the hell, we're burning daylight. Let's go." Funk attempted to join the NASA program during an era when the agency drew all its astronauts from the American Military Corps, which itself excluded women until the 1970s. It wasn't until 1978 that NASA selected women astronauts. Among the new female recruits, Sally Ride was the first American woman in space in 1983. 22 years after, Old Shepard, after whom the New Shepard system is named. Funk was 44 years old in 1983, compared to Ride's 32. The long wait gave a historical perk to Funk, however, as she became the oldest person to reach space Tuesday during the New Shepard flight. She surpassed the 1998 record set by then 77-year-old Mercury astronaut John Glenn on Space Shuttle Flight STS-95. Launch and landing tend to be the parts of a space mission in which astronauts experience multiple g-forces, or acceleration a few times that of Earth's normal gravity. But Funk said she barely felt a thing. "It was so easy, it was just incredible, and I didn't feel that," Funk said of the landing, during which the capsule descended to Earth under 3 parachutes. "I want to go again," she said as Blue Origin's audience cheered. "Fast,